Let me go to the first time caller, Austin, out of Florida. Austin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Jesse? How you doing?
All is well, Austin. Thanks for calling.
So I basically, I want to tell you the situation I'm going through. Pretty weird situation. So I just turned 20. I go to college. I live with my dad and my mom, my parents. Basically, my dad is a big follower of Dr. Umar, and he believes that black people should only be with other black people. But I don't actually like the black women in this city here.
Are you black?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead.
And I don't really like the black women in this city, and I'm more drawn to white women. The white women are drawn to me as well. So I don't really know what to do. And my dad said if I bring home another white woman, that he's going to make me pay rent in his house. And I'm thinking about either moving out or I don't really know what to do.
And so your question for me is what?
What should I do?
Oh,
do you think that that's right what he's doing? Should I pay the rent or should I move out?
Well, one thing for sure, he's right in having you pay rent. You're grown now. You're a man. So if you don't want to pay rent to him, you should move out and just deal with life and grow up and do whatever you want to do. But he shouldn't, even if you were not dating white women, he shouldn't let you live there free, even though you're in college. Even while you're in college, you should be working and taking care.
I am working. I do have a job.
Oh.
I do have a job.
So yeah, you should definitely pay some rent. And why don't you like black women over there?
I don't know. They're just very ratchet. I haven't found like a decent, common, decent black chick in my area. They're just all very ratchet.
Oh, I got you. Well, you should date whatever color woman you want. White, red, Chinese, whatever. That's on you. But your father have a right to say if he doesn't want that in his house or if he doesn't want you, you're going to have to pay rent. That's his house. And he has the right to do what he want to do in his house. And so
I understand, but do you think that he never made me pay rent before, and now all of a sudden that I bring a white girl home, now all of a sudden I have to pay rent, and none of his other kids paid rent either. I have two brothers and one sister, and none of them ever paid rent before me. And now that I bring home a white girl, all of a sudden I have to pay rent.
But what you do is your father say, okay, you're going to have to pay rent if you bring a white girl home. Just say, okay, I'll pay rent. Don't argue about it. Don't compare yourself to the other siblings. You got to live your life. And again, he's right in that you have to pay, whether you agree with it or not, or maybe his motives are not right, but you're in his house and you're a grown man. You can easily be on your own.
My relationship we've kind of been separated over the last year, I'd say, because of what's going on politically. And he's a really staunch supporter of, he really loved Barack Obama back in the day.
Yeah.
So he's going to support Kamala Harris. And I grew up around a bunch of white people, so I'm going to support Donald Trump. And we've been having arguments back and forth. And he wants me to vote for it. I think that's the part of it, him wanting me to support Kamala Harris, and I don't really support Kamala Harris, but that's kind of what started the whole thing. And then when I brought the white girl home, it was kind of like, yeah, that was the final straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
So, Austin, it's time. You're 20-something. You're grown. It's time to move out. Yeah. It's time for you to move out and start your life. Live your life.
Yeah, I know.
And then stop arguing with your father about anything. Don't try to prove anything to him. Do not argue with him about anything. He has a right to do it the way he wants to, and you have a right to do it the way you want to, but you got to move out so you can live your life.
Yeah, I got to find another. I have a part-time job right now. I got to find another part-time job.
Yeah, get a full-time job or 2 part-time jobs and go and live your life. And don't argue with your father about this, because it's his house, and you're not a kid, so you're old enough to be on your own. And again, he has a right to do it his way in his house, So don't be angry with him about it.
I wouldn't say I'm really angry. It's more like confused.
But
I'm
don't
just
be
like,
confused. Just say, oh, okay, Dad, I see what you want. I understand. I'm going to get my own place. Don't argue about it at all.
But should I still try to make the relationship better, or should I just leave and because I feel like if I leave right now, which would probably be the best thing for me, I feel like I'd ruin the relationship with my father. You know what I mean?
If your father is going to go against you from growing up and going out and doing your thing, you don't have a relationship anyway. It's not a good relationship. And you should never, the one thing I want you to remember, as long as you live, you're young, you should never, ever, 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 but never try to make a relationship work with anyone, with your parents. If you get married, when you're dating your girlfriend, your wife, don't ever try to make a relationship work. Either it works naturally on its own or it doesn't happen. And so you just don't be angry at your father and forgive him before you leave for whatever anger you may, or just whatever anger you may have toward him. Forgive him and forgive your mother so that you won't have anger and you will see clearly there's never a reason to be angry. You'll be fine.
All right, I gotta pray on it or something, man. I gotta figure out something to do. But I like the advice that you just gave me, though, Jesse. I like the advice.
Yeah, but, don't be angry at your parents about anything. They have especially in their home. Again, I'm repeating myself. You're a grown man. You really have no business living at home at this age, right? And then when
I mean, statistics show that a bunch of kids my age live at home. But I understand what you're saying. I need to grow up. I understand what you're saying, but yeah.
But you're right. Another caller called earlier. He was saying the same thing. You're right. The stats are showing that men are staying home now rather than moving out. But if you notice, as men are staying home, society is becoming weaker. The men are becoming...
They are.
And the men are becoming weaker. Society because men are not functioning. Men are the light of the world. And if you're not out there letting your light shine, then only darkness is in the world. And the women and the children will suffer for that.
Yeah, I think a lot of men are becoming more feminine now. I'm never that kind of person, but feminism is ruining the world right now. Like everything that's going on right now is because of feminism. If we elect Kamala Harris, that's what I was telling him. If we elect Kamala Harris, it's going to be way worse for strong men. It's
going to be worse than, you're right about that, man. And it's going to be worse than what you and I can even imagine. It really going to be, it's going to be hell on earth. And, but feminism is causing a major problem in the country and in the world. But it's because men are not the light. This couldn't happen because the authority is in the man. It's not in the woman. It's in the father. It's in the man. But if the men were to stand up and speak up, don't be angry, and just deal with life, then feminism could not do what it is doing either.
Exactly. That's why we need the Great White Hope back, right?
Yo, great.
I watched one.
You go ahead.
I watched one of your shows back. I mean, I think it was last week, and I heard you call Donald Trump the Great White Hope. So we guess we need the Great White Hope back, right?
Let me see what the Great White Hope has to say.
Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
Amazing. The Great White Hope. Thank you, Austin. Call me again. I got to run, but don't be angry at your parents. Forgive them. And then if your father said, well, you bring a white girl here, you got to move, don't argue about it at all. Just say, oh, okay, I understand that. I'll find me a place. But don't be angry.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Bye, Daddy.
I wish you well, man. 888-7753. 773-888-77. Jesse. Super Jet. Super.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Richard bought a